Selby Stadium on the campus of Ohio Wesleyan University is the site for the 2011 NCAA Division III Outdoor Championships. The North Central men are trying to take their fourth straight track and field title after taking indoors earlier this season and pulling off the double in 2010. We start on Thursday evening in the men's 10,000 meters. That's 25 laps around the track. Cardinals Mike Spain, Dan Curley, and Neil Klein all taking part. All three Cardinals holding up quite well 2 miles into the race. Spain sits in second behind Plattsburgh's Mike Heyman. Klein is in 9th place. Curley is in 12th. At the halfway point, it's a two-horse race. Spain and Thomas Breitbach from Wisconsin-Eau Claire have pulled away from the field. Curley's not far behind in the second pack, though. He sits in 5th place at the same point. Down the last 100 meters before the bell lap, Breitbach moves in front of Spain, and it looks like we're going to have an entertaining finish. 200 meters later, Spain moves back into the lead, his kick coming out in a big way. Down the home stretch, the senior from Schaumburg clinches the 10,000-meter title after finishing second last season and sixth 2 seasons ago. Spain is your 2011 10K champion with a time of 29:58.92, shattering the stadium record. Curley makes it 2 distance All-Americans for the Cardinals. He finishes 5th at 30:34.45. Those 14 points put the North Central men in the lead after day 1.
It was a fantastic duel, and I never knew that I was going to beat him until, 100 meters to go. So it's always great to have a competition like that. It makes you really work for it and appreciate it.
We move to Friday now, the pole vault, a valuable scoring opportunity for the Cardinals. 4 North Central vaulters taking part. Next up is junior John Wood. He's going up against 16 feet 3 1/4 inches. Wood takes care of business with room to spare. The junior, all business. After clearing 16 7 1/4 inches, the bar is 3 3/4 inches higher. Wood can't clear his arms on his 3rd attempt at that height. He finishes 6th for his 4th All-American honor. Jake Winder won an outdoor national title for the Cardinals last season. His brother Josh is attempting 16 7 1/4 after skipping the first 3 heights. All smiles for the sophomore, and now he's got 16 feet 11 inches on his mind. On that height, Winder clips the bar with his right leg and falls awkwardly on his left ankle, hobbling around the runway. He would get it taped up to try his hand at 17 feet 3 inches. Winder's effort a valiant one, but he can't clear the bar. He finishes in 4th place for 5 team points in his 2nd All-America certificate. From there, only 2 vaulters remain, North Central sophomore Peter Garrity and McMurray's Stephen Toller. Garrity trying his hand at 17 feet 3 inches. He said afterwards the conditions during this jump were perfect, as if it were indoors, and it shows. His Cardinal teammates are excited because Garrity's sitting in the driver's seat. After 2 misses at that height, Toller moves the bar to 17 feet 7 inches, potentially an NCAA record. Toller gets the lower body across but can't clear his upper half, and Peter Garrity is your 2011 NCAA pole vault champion.
Just feels good to capitalize the season with one great last meet. I'm really happy with the way I competed, with the way my teammates are competing, and it's just great to be a part of this process and to have the opportunity to jump, really, just to go through the season and just have a good time. Pole vaulting is just an amazing, amazing blessing, and I wouldn't trade anything for it.
The Sun made an appearance on day 3 of the championships, as did the team trophies. North Central with plenty of opportunities to score on the final day. Senior Dan Benton is one of those heavy hitters. He had the fastest time in the 400-meter prelims. After losing the indoor title by 0.04 of a second, he's hoping for retribution. Down the home stretch, Benton pulls away from the field. He improves his time by 61/100 of a second in the finals to win the national title with a 46.84. His teammates providing plenty of support. For Benton, one word sums up his national title.
I think finally is the perfect word to describe it. I mean, I've not really had a season where I could run against someone, and then when I finally could, he was in the other heat, or I broke my ankle. It's just been like a whole lot of things just adding up. And the team feeling of just wanting to try and get that team victory overall, it all just built up and it just had to happen. I mean, I wanted it so bad.
After about an hour with no North Central athletes competing, Mike Spain returns for the 5,000 meters, with the Cardinals trailing UW Lacrosse in the team standings by 9 points. But in the 5K with 2 laps to go, Spain looking to put his team back in the lead. The lead pack starts to pull away from the field, Spain in the candy striper shorts sitting in front. But as that group heads into the final lap, Spain is in the back of the pack in 6th. Down the back stretch, the senior starts to make his move, his kick coming through. With 200 meters left, the senior is in front. We'll let the video speak for itself. Mike Spain in a near full-on sprint. He finished the last 200 meters in just over 30 seconds, his second national title of the meet, and his 10 points give North Central a 1-point lead heading into the final event.
My teammates that brought out the fire in me today, because there's a lot of times I was feeling a lot of pain, and I thought, you know, is this worth it? But with the lap to go, those guys started going nuts, and I remember that I was running for them too. I'm not running just for myself. I'm running representing North Central, representing all those people that are in the stands, and it meant just as much or more for them than it did for me.
And that event is the 4x400 meter relay. The Cardinals come in as a top seed for the 3rd straight national meet, but they've been DQ'd the last 2 times out. John Caron gets out of the blocks just fine after his handoff to Randall Ellison. The Cardinals are in 4th. They need to beat La Crosse to bring home the team title. Ellison closed the gap in his leg, and he hands off to John Howard in 3rd place. A rough exchange puts NCC back in 4th, though, and they're still behind the Eagles. Around the final turn, Howard has his Cardinals in 2nd. It's going to be a dead heat between the anchors. Dan Benton and La Crosse's Eric Hoshin dueling for the team title. Benton sits in 3rd going into the final 100 meters, but he's making up some room before the awards tent. Down the home stretch, it's anybody's race. Rowan's Demetrius Rooks crosses the finish line first at 3:11.45. McMurray's Kevin Cunningham is 2nd, but who is in 3rd? In the second look, it appears Benton has it by a nose. The scoreboard confirms it 30 seconds later. Benton and the Cardinals finish 0.2 of a second ahead of the Eagles to take home their 2nd straight outdoor title. It's the Cardinals' 4th straight track and field title.
Feels really good. To be honest, it was demoralizing the last couple of years to work so hard throughout the season and have that taken away. And I know it was a big deal to Johnny Caron, a big deal to me, a big deal to Dan Benton and John Howard to go out there and finally take it home. Even though we didn't win, we still took it home for the team and did what we had to do.
But just the battle is what's fun, you know. It is a tradition, and whether you lose or whether you win, the tradition's still there to compete and do the best you can do. And I think we saw that the last 3 days here, that guys going out doing the best they can do and fighting for one another and picking one another up. Somebody who doesn't score, someone else scores a little higher. So that's part of the tradition, you know, not only winning, but that whole process gets you to that winning.
Just knowing that we're going to be one-day alums ourselves and being able to look back and seeing the guys who are currently working towards that goal, it really gives us an appreciation for all those guys who have been here before us and all of those guys who are going to be here after us.
The team trophy makes it 9 track and field titles for the North Central men's program. The 4 individual national champions gives the Cardinals 43 overall, a perfect ending to a very successful season.